Welcome! My name is Anna and I'm an artist, and today we're doing some oil painting and sketching in my home studio. I started an oil painting class by Ryan Pancoast, and the first assignment was to do some little color wheels to get to know our paint. I soon learned I preferred slightly more organized way of doing them than the exact way that Ryan did it. I think his way would be better for me with watercolor paint. I chose a few different primary sets and loved discovering how different the results were for each, and I'm excited to do more. I also did one with a Zorn palette, and it was fascinating. I will be playing with that one more very soon. With my last oil painting, a pet portrait of a golden doodle, I lost my pencil drawing when I put my wash of paint and Gamsol over the top. It just completely faded away. So I decided to test Inktense pencils by Derwent under the same mixture to see if that would hold up. I just grabbed a tiny canvas and did some doodling on it that I could put a wash over to test it. Also, as a side note, I absolutely adore Inktense pencils for sketching in general. They are beautiful and they feel very buttery. I highly recommend them. The Inktense pencils held up super well underneath the Gamsol and paint wash, and I was so relieved to see that. At this point, I rely on my drawings and I need to be able to see them, so to have something stable is really, really good. I'm testing and experimenting with different mediums and mixes. I'm currently trying out Gamsol and linseed oil mixed. I decided to test the drying time of this medium with alizarin crimson and alizarin crimson permanent, a very slow drying pigment. And I know I could just Google all of this, but I prefer the hands-on experience. Spoiler alert, it's still wet. It's been just over a week. I think I need to get some Galkid to try with a Gamsol mix to speed up drying time when I need to. I did learn that I prefer the look and feel of my alizarin crimson permanent, which I feel is good news as it's the more stable paint. In case you didn't know, alizarin crimson is a notoriously fugitive pigment and it will fade in as little as a week if it's in direct sunlight. I will probably only be using my alizarin crimson in sketchbooks, where it will not be exposed to the light very often. And yes, I'm fully planning on oil painting in sketchbooks. Stay tuned. As I said in my most recent vlog, I am painting pet portraits in oils so that I will have examples so I can open commissions soon. I've done pet portraits for years, but in graphite and colored pencil. Last year I tried watercolor and gouache pets, and while I liked how they turned out a lot, it wasn't my favorite as far as the process. I'm really enjoying doing them in oils, more than I have ever enjoyed doing pet portraits before, and I've always liked them. The first 5 I am doing are all for one person, of her current and her deceased pets. She doesn't know that I'm doing them. It's going to be a surprise and I'm very excited, and keeping them a secret until I can varnish them is going to be really difficult. This is Blue. She adopted him recently. Isn't he beautiful? I'm kind of obsessed. He's so cute. I found in the process of painting that short hair was a bit more challenging than long hair. I thought it would be the other way around. It isn't with pencil sketching, so I don't know why I thought that. I used different sizes of flats and brights to do this painting, except for the eyes, which I did use round brushes for, as they're a lot more delicate. I did blend quite a bit, but I also kept in mind that I didn't want a perfectly blended painting. I like brush strokes to be visible in my work. So while it's very experimental, I am super proud of how it turned out. You'll get to see the finished painting of Blue at the end of the video. There are so many wildfires in my state right now, and most of the western United States. I was so happy one day when it rained, and it rained very hard. We don't get rain like this very often where I live. Just at my desk, working on a client piece. Look over and the sky's faintly orange. Unfortunately, the next day, the smoke was blown back in and it was really bad. Thankfully, the next day, it cleared out again. But I really hope it rains again soon, and a lot. I've had this book since I was a child. It is full of gorgeous equine artworks by various artists and poetry and prose about horses. I love everything in it, but this one painting has always been a favorite of mine. As an adult, I can see it now and understand I was drawn to the brush strokes and the subtle overcast lighting and the limited color palette, all coming together to give you this beautiful painting of a little gypsy Vandermeer called Mancha. There isn't much online about the artist, Diana R. Lodge, and not a lot of her work is available online either to view. I know she was British and that she painted horses and the Romani people, and that's about all I know. She only passed away in 2023. I hope that there will be more of her work and more about her available in the years to come online. I did discover that Mancha, it seems, belonged to her. I couldn't find the painting itself online. If anyone has more info, let me know. I did see that it might have been sold at auction recently, but all of this information was really scattered and broken up, and I don't really know how reliable any of it actually is. All the same, I decided to do a little master study of this painting. The original painting is not public domain, so I will not be selling it or making prints of my study. It's just for me to learn from and to keep. I'll probably hang it in my cozy little TV room. I started the process of my painting by doing a little value study in my sketchbook, just with a Palomino Blackwing pencil. I also wanted to make sure that I got the nuances of the pose right, which I did in the sketchbook, and then later I didn't. I decided to do my painting on this little 10 by 10 round canvas. I have no idea what size the original is, or even if the medium is oil, though I really think it is. But by way of how broad her brushstrokes are and how large they appear, I do think her painting was quite small. I sketched mine in graphite with a mechanical pencil, and I thought that I had my drawing right, so I went over my graphite sketch with an Inktense pencil. They don't erase very well. And then I was looking at it again later and realized that it was completely off. Her back was too short and her hind legs were not up higher than her front legs. She's standing on a slope, and her head was too big and all kinds of things. So I did my best to erase the drawing and do it again, and then I did that 2 more times. In my defense, it was really hard to see the pencil lines under the Gamsol and the paint toning. I, from now on, will be doing my drawing before I tone my canvas. I'm still figuring out my painting process. I started this painting on a day where I hadn't gotten enough sleep and just wanted to paint, but I didn't make great decisions. My values and hues are all wrong. These grays are too blue and they're not warm enough, and my brush strokes aren't really my favorite, so I am letting it sit for a bit and I will get back to it soon with fresh eyes and hopefully a more conscious state of mind. Speaking of oil painting in sketchbooks, I got this mixed media sketchbook, so slightly heavier paper, and it's going to be my oil painting sketchbook. I will do studies, color tests, and practice stuff in here, and this will make storing it easier. I'm hoping to get a drying medium so that anything I paint in here will dry a little bit faster. To paint in a sketchbook, really all you need to do is gesso the pages. I will do 2 coats for any page that I paint on, and I'm excited to try this out. To finish blue, all I really needed to do for my final session was to paint his whiskers, both on his face and in his ears, and to paint the background. The background was very straightforward, just a warm gray gradient, and then the lower half I did in yellow ochre and burnt umber. I did some playing around with different brushes to soften up the gradients in certain places, which you'll see in a moment. I didn't need it to be perfectly smooth, but I did use this slightly fuzzier brush to smooth it out a little bit. Painting whiskers was very scary. I hopefully one day am gonna get a more high quality detail brush and learn to use it better. I moved on from my detail brush and I used an angled flat brush instead, and I actually found that that worked a lot better. And after I painted all the whiskers, I cleaned up a few places around them just so that they looked a little bit thinner and not quite so awkward. And then I signed it. I'm figuring out my oil painting signature. I am using just my initials, and I think after this I have it sorted out. I will connect the bottom of the A to the bottom of the S better, and this will be it. And come Monday, I will start my next pet portrait featuring Charlie, the golden retriever. Here is Blue, all finished. I am so pleased with this. I think it turned out wonderful. It sunk in quite a bit, so I'm very excited to varnish it when the time comes. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. If you enjoy this video, please check out some of my others and like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you next week. Have a beautiful day. Love you. Bye.